For our exercise number 2, we have log with base 5 of some numerator divided by some denominator, right? In the numerator, notice that we have some multiplication, right? We have x squared is multiplying all of this right here, which is 1 minus 5x with the power of 3/2. Notice, this 3/2 is only power of 1 minus 5x, okay? It's not for this x squared here, only for this term right here. In the denominator, we have a square root of x cubed minus x, okay? So, the first step that you want to do is to rewrite every single radical as an exponential expression, okay? So for example, look here in the denominator, we have some radical expression, right? In which our index, it's not given, so automatically it's a 2. So we want to rewrite it as an exponential expression like we did in our exercise number 1, okay? But notice the radical in this case is only for the denominator. It's only for the denominator, okay? So let's do that first, okay? So we will have log 5 of, let's rewrite the numerator, now the denominator, notice that we have to put everything inside in parentheses, right? And then the top will be 1, and the bottom or the denominator will be whatever the index of the radical is, in this case 2. So the exponent will be 1/2, okay? And everything in the big parentheses, okay? Now let's apply the basic laws of logarithms, right? Notice that we have a multiplication here in the numerator, and here we have an exponent, right, in the denominator. We have the first thing that you have to notice is that we have a division, okay, before multiplication. So let's apply the division law of the logarithms, okay, which is our second here, right? We have log with base b of m divided by n. So we're going to expand it as the numerator minus the denominator, each one with its own log, okay? So, okay, so remember, the first law is to apply is the division, okay? Because the big picture, we have a division, okay? So let's do that. So it's gonna be the numerator minus the denominator. And also notice that we don't have a power inside of everything here, right? Okay, so we cannot bring this power into here because there's no power, automatically it's 1, but 1 does not really count in this case. Okay, so we're gonna go straight and applying the second law. So let's do that. So it will be log 5, right, base 5 of the top, which is x squared, multiplying 1 minus 5x with power 3/2, okay, minus log of the same base of the denominator, which is x3 minus x and everything power 1/2. Okay? Now, let's work on each one, okay, at a time, right? We have here, notice that we have x squared, parenthesis means multiplication, right? So we have a multiplication inside a log. So that is rule number 1, right? Multiplying m times n, we're going to expand it as an addition. So let's do that. So our two multiplications that are happening here is that this x squared is multiplying all of this here. Okay, so we're going to expand it, each one having its own log in a addition format. Okay, so we will have log base 5 of x squared plus log of base 5, okay, of what? Of our second thing that is multiplying the x squared, which is 1 minus 5x with power 3/2. And let's bring this one down here. The same. Let's not work on this one for now. Okay. Now it looks like a more expanded version, right? Now notice, in each one, right, we have an exponent, right? We have exponent 2, exponent 3/2 for everything inside, an exponent 1/2 of all of these. That will take us to the third rule here, right? We have log of something m to some power r. We could bring the r in front of the log, okay? So let's apply the rule as our next step. So notice here we have x power 2. So these 2 will go to the front of the log here. So we will have 2 log 5 of x plus, in this case, we have 3/2, which is outside of the parentheses, right? So that will be the 3/2 in front. And let's rewrite that 1 minus 5x, which is the 2 terms inside of the parentheses here. Minus, right, because we have minus here, 1/2 log 5 of x cubed minus x. Now, let's see that if we could apply any other rule here. We have a 2 already there, log 5 of x. The x is by itself, so there's nothing here to apply here. Let's go to the next one. We have log 5, and inside we have a subtraction of 2 different terms, right? So we cannot expand this anymore because we don't have any law that inside of the parentheses there is a plus or minus, right? There's only plus or minus after the expansion, okay? So this doesn't count as this one, okay? And let's see here, the same thing as in the second log, we have something power 3 minus x. Notice this x has some power 3, right? But this one does not apply to this rule because this x3 is inside of the parentheses along with another different term, which is x, okay? It's not by itself, right? So there's nothing to do, so that will be our final expansion of a single logarithm.